so much for TU. On behalf of the staff and the volunteers from the Museum of the American GI, we'd like to welcome you here today for our fall Living History event, History in Motion. We have 30 caliber machine guns. All of this, of course, is shooting blanks and such for obvious reasons. The LBT was the star of the Clint Eastwood movie, Flags of Our Fathers. Thank you all so much for coming out.
I got some pretty good pictures.
This is going to be awesome.
Oh, very good.
This is pretty great.
Fire in the hole! There you go.
If I'm being so honest, the fact that it is a foggy day just kind of adds so much to this.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Mike. I was like, it kind of feels like a little bit like a foggy war zone, a fog of war kind of deal.
To film y'all doing that.
Can people go out there and do that?
Have to get a ticket.
Where do you get the tickets from?
I think by the information desk.
Fire in the hole!
Right, we got those cherries. That was very fun. Brilliant.
I wish I could have something up there filming. I'm like, oh, I got the GoPro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. And those fellows are extremely friendly. They're great.
I kind of figured they would be.
Yep, they're
like,
awesome.
To be here at like something like this, you gotta love it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they were very, very cool.
I want to say that's the World War I artillery that we're firing, judging by the giant smoke.
Yeah, right.
Wait. Can you lower your voice and act British for me, please? And maybe circle a few letters just randomly.
No, that was the class.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, for they pretty much said like I don't remember who said it, but it was like, well, you see, we have the Maxim gun, they do not, and that's how they like shredded.
Where have I heard that?
Well, I don't know a lot about history, but I think it was Mrs. Butterworth.
I got the GoPro going.
All right.
Oh, very nice.
Whenever you're ready.
Cool. I got it.
I got my ticket. I'm gonna go fire the howitzer.
All right.
Have fun.
All right. Give him hell, Admiral. Actually, it wouldn't be an Admiral.
I hope they wouldn't have to say it to an admiral. I feel like it'd be a pretty bad day if the admiral has to start fighting.
Oh no,
yeah.
run aground.
Yeah.
Detach the cannons.
You know, you should give your family a call whenever this your captain says, fix bayonets. We're going over.
You, go below. Guard the rum.
Fire in the hole! There you go.
Fired a howitzer.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh yeah. Took out the Germans with that one.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, but right before you left, I wrote "Love Hayden" on the shell.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's some German. That's some Panzer taking out action if I ever heard it.
Maybe it's just because you're 20 feet tall. Maybe that's why.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Thank you so much for coming to History in Motion. We're so excited this year that we have all kinds of some new activities. I'm Leisha Mullins. I'm the director of the museum. You can kind of tell it on the back. Over here, there's an opportunity to pull the lanyard on a French 75. That's an original World War I field cannon. Really cool. Over there, we have some gas machine guns. And this year, you get to fire it at a German vehicle. So, yay. The only thing a German vehicle is good for is to fire. All right, we have one rule when we have reenactments. The Germans always lose. Okay, that's the one rule. All right. We're ready to do our 250 years of American small arms. We're very, very blessed today to have a group that does American Rev all the way through the Civil War to join us, and so they're going to show us the early war weapons, and it's going to progress up all the way through our M60 Vietnam.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are having a good morning. I am representing the anniversary, the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, which started this last April. We are now in the 250th cycle. I am actually dressed as a West Florida forester in what historians now come to call the 14th colony of Florida / all the way over to east, what we now call Western Louisiana. I am carrying the weapon that actually helped us win the American Revolution. This is one of 4 different popular firearms. This is a Brown Bess Model 2. It is calibered 75 caliber. Fires a nice round ball. However, sometimes the Americans got a little inventive, shot a 69 caliber and 3 pieces of buckshot. And when you're at close range, at 50 yards, you can actually hit a target. At 100 yards, you're gonna shoot up amongst them and scare them. What makes this weapon very effective, and I'm gonna hand the microphone over, is not what I'm firing.
3 rounds, fixed bayonets. The British are trained to use the bayonet. The colonists were not until von Steuben at Valley Forge. 3 rounds, fixed bayonets. This was one of the most frightening weapons that the world had ever seen, was a British volley line with fixed bayonets at over 5,000 British marching at you at once with a 7.5 foot long spear. First, you're going to take your cartridge, roughly 120 grains of black powder, and a 75 caliber round ball would be at the end. You're going to put the hammer at half cock. You're going to prime the pan. You have to close the frizzen. Now this is a piece of flint. The concept is when this strikes the frizzen, it's going to cause a spark and ignite the powder. If it doesn't, you get the term flash in the pan. And now you have a stick. You would load the cartridge, pull the rammer, ram everything home, return rammer, and then we get the order to poise your firelock to make sure that everything is there. Half cock, present your firelock, fire.
And then you would reload and hope your flint does not break. This type of moisture, this might go off 2 more times. If the flint breaks, you fix bayonets and hope the British aren't coming at you.
My name's Logan Elsey. My musket here is a model 1842 Springfield musket. Since this gun's loaded exactly like the next 3, all 4 of us are going to load and fire at the same time. So I'm going to pass it off to the next guy.
Howdy folks, my name's Aaron Durr. I am part of the 7th Texas Infantry out of Midland, Texas. And this would be a mid-war impression that I got today. I'm going to be showing you a 1853 infield rifled musket.
Good morning. My name is Arthur Porras. I'm with the 9th Texas Red River Battalion. I'm dressed as a first sergeant in the Federal Army. It's the sash. In battle, I may or may not wear it because it makes a good target. I am carrying a 61 Springfield. They're manufactured in Springfield, Massachusetts. This was also a 58 caliber weapon, also a rifled weapon.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Carroll. I'm a sergeant of the 7th Texas Infantry Regiment based out of Midland, Texas. My current impression, I'm representing a Confederate States Sergeant of the Army of Tennessee circa 1864. So the rifle that I have right here, and yes, we are still with rifles, is actually an import rifle. This is the model 1854 Austrian Lorenz rifle. It's chambered in 54 caliber, or for those who like the Imperial system, 13.7 millimeter. And now, a real quick demonstration. Me and the three gentlemen to my right, we are going to load facing, and then we will about face to fire a volley. Thank you.
Unfixed bayonet. Load. Load to the shoulder. Load to the shoulder. Alright. About face. 2 steps forward. March. Ready. Aim. Fire. Recover. Arms. Shoulder. Arms. Up, out, right. Forward, march. Order, fire.
Good morning. My name is Paul Thorne. I'm representing the 6th Cavalry of the United States Army in the 1880s. So as you can see, the uniforms are still quite similar, although you're starting to see much more of the modern look for the Army. Coats are really similar. The ranks are still similar. And so as you can tell right over here, he's wearing blue stripes. That was the infantry. I'm wearing yellow. That indicates I'm cavalry. So everything I'm equipped with today is what the cavalry was wearing during the Indian War period. So right now, everything up to this point has been either a flintlock or a cap lock. So you had to manually load from the front. They're all muzzle loaders. That takes time. At this point in time, they'd already gone over to the, this is the 1884 trapdoor. This is what Custer's troops were out there fighting the Indians with. Your primary weapon was the trapdoor. Your secondary weapon is what I'm carrying on my side. They carried sabers. This saber wasn't just a piece to sit there and look good. It was actually there as a secondary weapon. So once you're out of rifle rounds or where you're too close to fight, they were actually fighting with sabers still. And it was there. You didn't have to worry about it. It doesn't need to be reloaded. You're good to go. I'm unfortunately not firing this today. I didn't bring any blanks, so sorry, my bad.
Fortunately, Phil has blanks for a 4570 trapdoor, and that's what he's going to show you right now. We're going to demonstrate. You'll see single shot, single shot, single shot, single shot, single shot. It ain't single shot down there. He's going to fire 5 rounds as quick as he can pull those out of his pocket. Normally he'd have a little cartridge box and like this over here. Go. Okay, that was 5. He's shooting the cavalry, the carbine. Next is a 1903. This is where we now start common calibers. And this one would you typically use a 30-06. It shoots from a clip. He's gonna shoot 5 rounds. We'll see how much faster Bishop can do this.
They got a grease gun.
Foreign blanks. Foreign blanks. Okay, I don't know what that's all about, but those were silenced. Yeah. 2 peanuts went in a bar. 1 was assaulted. Next is M1 Garand, very famous from World War II. Everybody's probably seen him in the movies, and maybe you've shot one. And it shoots from a 8-round in-block clip, so we've stepped up from 5 to 8, and we'll see how well this one works. I'll say that wasn't Bishop's fault for that, but I'm not taking the blame.
Oh, there it is.
Alright. And you heard the last one? Well, you heard the last one, right? When the clip comes out, it goes ping. And all the enemy says, hey, he's out of ammo. Guess what? He's not by himself. Okay, let's speed things up a little bit. Still at 30-06, this is a Browning automatic rifle. Garand weighs 10 pounds, BAR weighs 20. You always give that to the smallest guy in the squad. Why, I don't know. But it was developed for World War I. It was safe, semi-auto, full auto. In World War II, they said, let's change that. It's safe, full auto, and fast full auto. So I don't know what Grant's going to do, but you only got 15 rounds. I told you we speed things up some. Okay, what we got now is M3 grease gun. You know why it's called a grease gun? Because it looks like an old-time grease gun. Anybody ever seen one of those? You're dating yourself. So it shoots a 45 caliber round, and we're just gonna go. So I'll just point out one little thing about this. If you can see that he's got the door open. So, and when you close the door, that's your safety. So you're chilling. But when you got it open, you're not chilling. And there's something that rhymes with that that's not PC. Next thing is we're gonna go to still 30-06, 30-06, 30-06. 1919 machine guns. You guys do it.
Gun up.
Okay, we're going to do an AK and an M16. This, any of you guys that were in Vietnam at the beginning, you know, they came out, they used the M14s, right? They were kind of heavy. And then we came out with the M16, and all of us looked at those and said, dang plastic guns.
It's going to be firing the M16A1. This is an E5 series, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, semi first. Full auto.
Making pizza! Oh yeah. Okay, good.
As you can see, I have the infantry feed can on the side. It was a battlefield modification, and the grunts and the air cab guys loved it. Fire from an open bolt.
Okay, now, you just have to picture this. Imagination time. You ready? Sorry, but the fire chiefs in the whole Brazos County area said no. So, sorry you missed the flamethrower. Come back in March. I bet we'll do it then.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold blue. Now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own, without a love of my own. Thank you.
You guys ready? Brian, are you ready? Yeah, you want me to fire up the other two groups? Yeah, once the first group leaves, go ahead and fire the other two up.
Howdy!
Howdy.
I said howdy!
Howdy!
Welcome to the Museum of the American GIs History in Motion 2025. What you see there is two M4 Sherman tanks. The first is the M4A1. Notice it has a cast hull. The one behind it is the M4A3. Notice it has a welded hull. But other than that, they're very similar tanks. The crew can crew both of them, and they pretty much look the same inside. Although this tank right here, the M4A1, has a 9-cylinder radial engine, 975 cubic inches. The M4A3 is coming up behind it, has a special four-wheel. The third tank on the field is the M24 Chaffee. That's considered a light tank, whereas the Shermans are considered medium tanks. Although the Chaffee has the same caliber gun as the Shermans, so essentially has the same firepower. Cadillac flathead V8 engines that work together to power the tank. A lot of work by all the volunteers here at the museum to keep all of these vintage tanks running. It's hard to believe, but the Shermans are over 80 years old, as is the Chaffee, the M24. It was built in 1944, and both of the Shermans were built in 1943. So a little bit more about the tanks you see right there. The one on the far left, Pacific Car and Foundry, a railroad manufacturing company that had the capabilities to cast. Those guns on the tanks you see there shoot the same 75 millimeter ammunition. So they're all interchangeable for their ammunition. The crew of the M4, or the M24 Chaffee, is an all Aggie crew. They're fixing to fire. There you go. Armored Corps that they named the M24 light tank after them. And so much for TU. See how fast the Chaffee is? It has hydromatic transmissions, 2 of them on each engine. coming on the field now is the first American tank destroyer. This is the M3 75 millimeter mounted on a M3 half track. This was the first attempt at tank destroyers. It saw extensive action in North Africa, and they were really fairly successful, even though they cannot take any counterfire because of the light armor. Is the pinnacle of the tank destroyer, the M18 Hellcat. And then coming up now is the M8 motor gun carriage. That is not a tank, it's a self-propelled howitzer. It has a 75 millimeter pack howitzer mounted in the turret. Field gun, which is actually a World War I 75 millimeter that was repurposed for the half tracks. They had all these 75 millimeter tote guns from World War I in storage, and as an expedient, they developed a mount for them to use in the half track, and they served on in World War II in the half tracks. In the M18 in the middle, it has a 76 millimeter high velocity gun that was very effective against most all German armor. And then the M8 motor gun carriage has a 75 millimeter pack howitzer, which is basically the same size round as the 75 millimeter tank, but a lot less charge for it because it was a howitzer which shoots up and lands on the target rather than a gun like the half track and the M18 that shoots a flat trajectory to their target. Now coming onto the field is the M113A2. Then the next vehicle coming is the M50A1 Ontos. It was only used by the U.S. Marine Corps. And then the M38A1 Jeep was used in Korea and Vietnam. And then the M151A1 was used extensively in Vietnam. So there is our, basically our 1960s vehicles, all instrumental and used in Vietnam. The Ontos especially is probably the only running one in the U.S. now. There was the Marine Corps Museum at Camp Pendleton used to have one, but I don't think it runs anymore. So that concludes our drive-by demonstration. I invite you to go and see all the other things that are going on.
I wonder whenever they're firing the guns over there in the field, I wonder if those old veterans in the front had either nostalgia or just holding in their PTSD. But no, I think the people that come out here to just like they kind of have probably some nostalgic or just some reminiscence of it, of their time, probably with their fellow.
So the Chaffee is one of my dad's favorite, back when my dad used to play World of Tanks, that was one of his favorite tanks to play was the Chaffee.
It's a blast.
No, the Chafees are great. It's the Chaffee and the Hellcat. He was a fan of the Hellcat too.
Boy, I could never
There is a Hellcat.
I wanted to love the Hellcat, I just couldn't.
I'm not the biggest fan of the destroyers. They move too slow for me. I like heavy tanks because they still have good guns, but they can move around better than destroyers.
Destroyers don't only get fun until like tier 4, like in War Thunder, and like tier 3 or 4. Like battle rating like 5 or 6. 6 or 7.
Say that again.
And if I remember correctly, it was like, that sounds about right, because that's the, in battle rating, like 3.5 in War Thunder. That's when I always took my freaking butt from like half the map away, bombing my tiny little Russian, like T-34. And
Hey, T-34s are awesome.
Yeah, no, they're dope.
But I guess this is because we're American heavy today.
Yeah, I think so. Well, either that.
American GI.
I think the last time I was at the museum, I believe the Renault was out of commission. So I think it might have. I don't know. There might be something wrong with it at the moment.
Probably want to err on the side of caution here. Well, you know, if Bryan College Station is attacked this weekend, we will.
We already have a standing militia at all times, so
we
with
do.
the Corps Cadets.
Okay, oh, we certainly do. That's right. Yeah, we can repel all invaders. I mean, Normandy comes at us, and we will get at them. Yeah. I know.
Just this past summer, we had to redo the track.
Do they have any? Did they have any modern tanks in there?
No, it's all historical tanks.
Okay.
No modern tanks.
When's like the earliest? What's the most recent tanks they have there? Like what era? Like
The earliest
Korean
is
War
definitely. Well, the earliest tank is the Renault, but they have like trucks from like early World War I. All right. So that was kind of awesome.
Thank you.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
That was
out.
kind of awesome. So what did we think? What did we think of that?
Oh, it was amazing. And like
money and more.
Like I said, the only thing that I'm disappointed about is no Revolutionary War tanks.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm telling you, we passed horses on the way here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was absolutely wonderful. I'm so happy we got to see. I love tanks.
Yeah,
So
I was
that's pretty
there
awesome.
was gonna be more, so I was like, oh, I thought.
Yeah, I'm sad we didn't get to see the Renault in
Yeah, that's
action,
what I was
the old
looking
French
forward to.
tank with a really cool history.
If they pulled that out, that would have been sick. But it was
How many
still pretty
American GIs were in that tank though?
I think it was crews of 5.
Yeah, 5
And-
in the M4.
Oh, okay.
And then the Chaffee had an all Aggie crew, which was kind of cool.
And that was 5, and you had to be very, very good friends with them.
Yeah. Like, a lot of those tanks, it's like, man, I don't know how they did that
I don't
back
either.
today.
I don't either. That's amazing.
Yeah, very nice.
That was great.
Great experience. Museum of the American GI. Would
Next time we gotta
recommend.
go in.
I give
Absolutely
it
wonderful.
10 out of 10 Tier 5 tank destroyers.
Amen to that.
Oh, awesome. Oh, sweet. Got the sun, too.
Beautiful.